Good afternoon and welcome in here on YouTube on the Lorain County Sports Network, where we are your home for football across Lorain County, not just at the high school level like last night, but also junior LC8 football, 5th and 6th grade tackle. Today we're coming at you live from Black River High School and Stadium, home of the Pirates, as we've got a double header in store for you. First up on the agenda is going to be the Wellington Dukes taking on the Firelands Falcons. Max Drummond with you alongside Corey Lozier and Sam Sovacool, as Black River has opened up their press box for us. And this will be the first time this stadium's used this season, as the Pirates were at Hillsdale yesterday at the high school level. So the four teams on display today will be breaking in the grass field, and we're ready to get underway. 9-minute quarters here, junior LC8 level. As Firelands comes out on offense first after winning the toss and electing to receive, as that play will go around the left side to Blake Dunn. He cuts in across the hashes, and he's buried there just before midfield. As we're excited to bring you our third straight season of junior LC8 action here on YouTube. Our inaugural season, of course, was on WOBL on 1320 AM, 107.7 FM, and WOBLradio.com, but we've moved it over to YouTube now, and we know whether it's a family member or somebody that maybe can't make it to the game, somebody out of state, provide an outlet here. And we also know the players love to go back and watch these games, watch their highlights as well. So very excited to have everybody along for the start of the 2026 season at all levels here in Lorain County. So after a penalty on the opening play, we're going to see Firelands drop back, roll out pass. This time that'll be Tyler Kellogg going to the right. He tucks it, tries to get some yardage on the ground, but he's not getting away from Jace Taylor that time from the Dukes. And we want to give a great big shout out and thank you to all of our presenting sponsors, as their support makes this possible to be out in the stadium every Saturday afternoon for 10 weeks here in the fall. We'll have 7 weeks of regular season, and then, of course, as is tradition, weeks 8, 9, and 10 will be the playoffs. Firelands knows those postseason success very well. So cut down there is Deacon Cooley. He was a big part of last year's team that, as I was alluding to, was able to win the whole thing. Champions of the Junior LC8 in 2025. So they'll be looking to repeat that effort. They bring back a number of players, a lot of 6th graders on this team. It is 5th and 6th tackle football. Wellington comprised entirely of 6th graders on their roster this season, as that's a nice screen pass out to the left and caught, and Austin Davis is going to take off and get very close to that first down marker located on the top of your screen. So he's a few yards short. Stepped out a little earlier than I anticipated, as they'll be at the 41 now. So it is 4th down. They have a couple of options here at the junior LC8 level. You can, of course, go for it, but also they have 2 options if you're going to punt. If the team feels confident enough, they can trot one out or do a 25-yard walk-off punt by the officials. They'll go for it. A little bit of confusion in the backfield, but Cooley's the one that ends up with it, and he's cut down there for a loss. So Wellington will stand tall on the first defensive possession of their season. We'll see the Dukes offense coming up next. 6:46 to go in this first quarter of play. And to get back into thanking a few of our sponsors and partners here, bringing you junior LC8 action today. Elyria Charities, Inc., also Stewart's TV and Appliance in Elyria, Spitzer Auto World in Amherst. They also bring you that great post-game show that you'll hear at the end of Friday nights live at the studio. Fligner's Market on Broadway in Lorain, as we are coming to an end of the summer season, but game day is here. I mean, the NFL preseason is going on, college football, and more specifically, those Ohio State Buckeyes will be coming up soon, so make sure you get all your food for those game day specialties at Fligner's Market. And finally, Nick Abraham, Elyria Ford, and that's a snap that goes haywire, and it's forced to be picked up there and taking off as Skylar Hopkins. He avoids disaster on that play. Bring up the Ohio State Buckeyes, and in case you didn't have a chance to hear them last year or weren't aware, WOBL which is where JR.LC8 started years ago, being broadcasted. The Buckeyes are on there. You can hear them every Saturday in the fall, 13:20 a.m., 107.7 FM. We know you love watching them on the screen, but maybe you're in between places. You're heading somewhere, or the road trip goes long, just tune in on there. As another high snap, it forces Hopkins to roll out left. This time he's going to gain some ground quickly, cutting across the middle of the field, and he escapes around the 25, and he's going to go all the way. Touchdown, Wellington. You can hear the Duke fans that traveled today, as that makes it 6-0 on a very impressive scamper, and back-to-back plays that could have ended in disaster for Wellington. Turns into a touchdown as Skylar Hopkins takes advantage of maybe some of the confusion that could have happened as he heads towards the sideline. Not sure if he'll be getting a play call. No, he will stay over there. And now entering the game under center, I believe that's going to be Grayson Kissow. He's under center. Two options to hand off to, and neither one really had a chance, as that's going to be swallowed up that time by big Logan Fortner. So it remains 6-0 here in week 1 of JR.LC8 football on the Lorain County Sports Network. Back here from Black River High School as Firelands looks to respond after shutting down a point after attempt, though Wellington successful getting the touchdown run. And we've got just around 5.5 to go here in the first quarter of play, opening week of the season. And Firelands, like we alluded to, trying to start their title defense, but it's Wellington who, as the year went on in 2025, definitely got stronger. They figured out a few more things that they were capable of and like to do, but Firelands, it was all about those athletes last year. Blake Dunn showing off some of the speed this time as he'll scamper ahead across midfield. And a nice pickup there. Oh, we'll give him about 15 on that run. In case you're just joining us, the 6-0 score on your screen was courtesy of Skylar Hopkins, the quarterback for Wellington, breaking off a roughly 30-some-odd yard run on what was almost a broken play. He's able to convert to give them the early lead. They'll go back to Dunn this time, and instead of the speed, he'll show the power. Muscling ahead for around 9 yards on that play. And everybody's checking those wristbands. There's no longer, the days of huddling seem to be coming more and more to an end. We thought that was just the case last night at the high school level at the game our crew was at, but now it's coming all the way down to the youth level here as well. So spread out wide on the bottom of your screen, that's Austin Davis. He's going to have to find a block there to help out his halfback that time. Cooley, who stiff arms his way out of bounds after a first down and much more there. They're right on the doorstep of the red zone. And they're definitely opening up that running game a bit more this drive, rather than trying to mix things up like they did on their first drive. Blake Dunn and Deacon Cooley on either side of Tyler Kellogg. Everybody's in their stance, ready to go. Receiver either side, little misdirection. It's going to be Cooley with it. He gets past one man with a stiff arm. He's got one man to beat to get to the end zone. Spinning around him, and he'll be shoved out just ahead of the goal line. As we're already under 3.5 minutes to go in this first quarter, and thanks in large part to a lot of running the ball so far. Great crowd on site. They did their best to move up the start times as we began roughly 10 to 15 minutes ahead of schedule due to potential weather in the area, but it stayed pretty clear down here for the last half hour or so as we've got a timeout for Wellington, so we'll take one with them and be back to see if Firelands can punch it in here on the Lorain County Sports Network. Returning to the field of play, 3:07 to go here in the first quarter as Wellington up 6-0 thanks to a Skylar Hopkins touchdown run, but now Firelands in position to respond, and we've got a sweep going out right side towards the top of your screen. He extends the arm, and they'll say touchdown. Blake Dunn diving in as he knots this game up at 6 points apiece. The week 1 edition of JR.LC8 football. It's great to have it back, and I swear, year over year, it seems like these teams, they become a lot more organized and within their systems because you're getting so many of these players. A lot of them have siblings or good friends that may be a year or two behind. So they've been able to put together strong starts, which isn't always a given. It definitely isn't even at the high school levels. We got a quick tight end pop pass, and it's just off the hands of Gannon Brown. So we'll remain tied up at 6, and Wellington will take the field on offense as they exchange the footballs around. Almost got Skylar Hopkins in the head there, and we'll see. So they had a few issues with the snaps on the first 2 plays of their last drive, but no harm was done as he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage on the first one, and then on the next one, a 38-yard dash to the end zone as they were given great starting field position as Firelands failed a 4th down attempt on their opening drive. This time the Dukes will have to go the full length of the field, 2:59 to go in the opening quarter. Snap under center, and they get it to the up man who's grabbed right away, and Gannon Brown doing his best to make up for the 2-point try there as he's able to rip down the ball carrier. I think Jalen Johnson was the running back there. See him lose a couple that time. And so just like we saw in the point after try, it looks like Skylar Hopkins will exit the game and will exchange back in Grayson Kissow. So we'll see how often they do that. And, you know, it's week 1. There's not much scrimmaging that goes on at this level. You maybe get one in if you're fortunate enough to find somebody in the area to run some plays with, but this is really the first full game situations that either team's working with, as we'll see Kissow throw. That one is picked off, jumping in front of the pass and not looking back, going all the way from over 30 yards out. Pick 6 to give Firelands the lead, as that was an impressive play in coverage that time by Travis Wells Jr. What a play there as he read the flat route perfectly. And Kissow was under some pressure too, so may not even seen Wells tracking that. So 2:03 remaining in this first quarter, and all of a sudden it's 12 unanswered from the Junior Falcons. So it looks as though they're lining up from the 5. That means there'll be a 2-point conversion. We'll see another pop pass open again, and this time brought in by Gannon Brown to finish off the two-point conversion. 14-6, just over 2 minutes to go. Wellington with the ball next when we come back here on the Lorain County Sports Network. Wellington back on offense here from Black River High School as they're the host for today's doubleheader of games. High snap that time, and it's going to be Hopkins falling on it. As he was in motion that time, he'd handled it on their opening drive when they dealt with a few high snaps and was able to convert those with some success that time. Just the smart play to get on it, but does bring up second, and it's going to feel like forever as we've got a timeout called by Firelands right there. So that'll give us a moment to highlight our captains. As we mentioned early on, that Firelands won the toss. They wanted the ball first for good reason. They've been a pretty strong offense to this point, especially on their most recent drive. But heading out there for the Falcons to represent them at the coin toss was some names you've already heard, like Blake Dunn, who wears number 1. Also, Caden Ramirez, number 7. Also got Tyler Kellogg, who wears number 11, the quarterback, as well as Caden Amaro being out there as well. Then Wellington sent out 2 of their players to represent for the coin toss, Grayson Kisau, who we've already seen at quarterback, and then Skylar Hopkins. So essentially they're 2 quarterbacks operate as captains this week. And, you know, sometimes they change it from week to week, give different kids the opportunity, or maybe depending on how the practice week has gone. I know that's how it was when I was growing up in youth circles. Kind of earn it week to week, or give guys a chance to be a leader out there and represent on the coin toss. So now after the timeout from Firelands, just to make sure everybody's on the same page, we'll see Wellington come out, do an end around. Cutting back in the backfield, that'll be Braxton Siebold, and he tried to find a gap there, but just too many Falcons in pursuit. Got at least 3 to shout out there. And you've got Logan Fortner, Caden Amaro, we just mentioned, was one of the captains, as well as what looked like Weston Kirshner in there too. So this is a Firelands team last year. They had a lot of size up front in the trenches, and that went a long way in corralling teams. You know, there were a lot of great athletes, a lot of speedsters around the JR.LC8. However, if you can't really get through that first level or around the edges, it doesn't go very far to help you. And they have, it looks like, the size advantage up front compared to Wellington. So right there, they tried a little more misdirection, but it's not fooling anybody for Firelands. It's a lot of those same numbers and names that we mentioned on the last play. So that'll bring up 4th down as we're approaching 30 seconds to go in this first quarter. We'll see how the Duke's coaching staff looks to handle it. And I believe it's communicating to the official closer to us that they will elect a punt. So that'll keep the clock moving as they walk out a 25-yard punt here, and that could be the end of the first quarter. We'll see when they eventually set up where the ball is. We're at the 45. Clock will stop just under 10 seconds, so we'll keep it here with the impending quarter coming to an end very shortly. 14-6 in favor of Firelands. We'll give you a recap on the other side of the upcoming break to start the second quarter. Meanwhile, the Falcons looking to build on their last strong drive out there, which was centered almost pretty much entirely around the running game. Had different guys like Blake Dunn getting involved, Tyler Kellogg keeping it, Deacon Cooley. Austin Davis split out at the bottom of your screen at the top. Travis Wells Jr. had an interception earlier in this quarter. Snap is back. They'll hand off to Dunn, and he follows a pulling guard. Then he'll cut through another 2 Duke defenders. And he'll fight all the way up ahead for 9 yards, and that'll bring an end to the first quarter of play in the first game of the 5th and 6th grade level JR.LC8 football. You're watching it here on the Lorain County Sports Network. We'll be back with the start of the second quarter after this break. Back here from Black River High School Football Stadium is there, the host site for this JR.LC8 matchup. Pump fake, and then looking deep on this first play of the second quarter, hauled in. Deacon Cooley, what a grab. As he high points that for an over 20-yard gain to start the second quarter. So Firelands really had found their groove running the ball, and right there, a great pump fake and throw from Tyler Kellogg all the way to Cooley. So that'll jumpstart the beginning of this second quarter for them and try to get a look. I believe he did the pump fake screen pass to Austin Davis, who did catch one earlier today. So it's a great setup play in effect right there. Now Dunn will get it off tackle left side. He's wrestled down there. I believe that was the 89 of Dominic Johnson securing the tackle. And without skipping a beat, those Falcons offensive players, right after the play's done, their heads look right down at those wrists, and they've got the play. Dunn and Cooley in the backfield either side, and they'll hand it off that time to Dunn, and he's stopped in his tracks. That time it's the other big fella up there, Bryson Moore, getting his hands on him, and he's able to spin him down. Tyler Kellogg, the signal caller, looking to the sideline at the moment, making sure everybody gets set up. As they've maintained this duo back formation. This time they'll give to Cooley as he tried to hit the edge there, but great job by Luke Murray. He may not have made the tackle, but he set the edge, absorbed the block, and that bought the rest of his teammates enough time to get in there and force what's now a third down and around 5 to go, we'll call it. Just over 6 minutes here in this opening quarter. And, you know, on their opening drive, when they got the ball first, Firelands went for it in their own territory, so no doubt they're going to go for it here. Tyler Kellogg trying to draw him off sides, but he will snap it. It's a tight end go route, and it's hauled in. So they went his way, both 2-point conversion attempts. He got one of them. Gannon Brown now has a touchdown on the afternoon from 6 yards out. So now holding a 20-6 advantage. They will set up at the 5, so they will go for 2. And I imagine that's what they'll be doing the entire game, as they seem to have found a nice play down here. We'll see if they go back to it. He's lined up on the opposite side. This time is Gannon Brown. No, it'll be a screen out left. Catching it, getting a great lead block, and powering his way in. That's good from Austin Davis. So with 5:58 to go in the second quarter here, Junior LC8 action. Firelands, the defending champions of this league, up 22-6 on Wellington. Take a short break and be back after this. Wellington Dukes back on offense here, halfway through the second quarter. And Skylar Hopkins, no doubt about what he's doing, gets the snap and immediately sweeping out to the right and finds his way along that sideline, trucks through a defender, somehow stayed in bounds the whole way down that sideline. And that's the jump start that these Dukes needed after a couple of unsatisfactory possessions on offense. So he crosses midfield in one play there, as they need a score right here to get back into this game. And right after that, he'll head to the sideline. So we'll give him a quick breather. We'll see how long he's out for. But it definitely appears it's a planned back and forth between the two quarterbacks. So we'll see what number 6, Grayson Kissow, has. Up next here, just over 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Under center. Trying to roll out, and he's sandwiched immediately. That play didn't have a chance, thanks to the 2 Falcon defenders off the edge. Man, oh man. Can tell you definitively, Ezekiel Jones came up from his linebacker spot, it looked like, and the other guy off the edge, Gavin Byer. That's a familiar name as well, I believe. No, he's a 5th grader, so this is his first year at this level, but so far it looks like he's fitting in just well, the 5th and 6th grade tackle level. Just ahead of this game beginning, we had a pair of games happening on the field, a 3rd and 4th rookie tackle. So we had Vermilion and Black River playing each other on the right side, closer to the scoreboard, and on the left it was another Firelands team taking on Keystone. As a few of those kids will be up at this level next year, but it's all about that progression here in the Junior LC8 and opportunities to play. Now it'll be a sweep out to the right after the loss on first down, and that one's not really going anywhere. Braxton Siebold tried to keep extending it out, but eventually was tracked down. So it'll bring up a 3rd down here. We'll see. So they will bring Skylar Hopkins back into the ball game. Just now under 4 minutes till halftime. Though the silver lining is Wellington does get the ball to start the 3rd quarter, so you can take some clock off the scoreboard here. You might be able to get to halftime, whether you score on this drive or not, still within reach. Hopkins looking around, can't find anybody open, sets. He's going to throw from the right side of the pocket. He's got a man deep, and it's hauled in! Christian Edwards tracked down inside the red zone, but another huge play. But there's a flag in the backfield behind the play. They'll call holding on the Dukes, so that wipes out their second most explosive play of the day behind the early Skylar Hopkins touchdown run. And it just looked like Edwards was able to get behind the defense there, and nobody accounted for him, or the play breaking down. Maybe they had their eyes in the backfield. But it will result in now a third down, back in their own territory even now. So they move even further back on their own side of the 50. 3rd and 25, 3 minutes till halftime, as we've got some Keystone Wildcats in the end zone. Looks like they're getting ready for their game. They'll be up next against Black River. Hopkins gets the snap, trying to spin out a one, gets through 2 more, but just slowed down too quickly, and he's still fighting his way through. Somehow he's not going down, and there's been no whistle. Okay, so he gets very close to midfield there. Firelands coach is even getting the 3rd down stop, still very upset at how long it took to secure it. So after all of that, 2 minutes and some change until halftime. And we'll see what Wellington has in store here. They might have a little more confidence than they did before the last 2 plays and going for it here. So the offense will remain on the field. And it's going to be a 4th and 15. Hopkins will drop back. He's looking around. We'll have a quick flag thrown, and he's able to get the pass off. Not complete, but it would have only gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. So it looks like it's another hold. It's Gavin Byers just wreaking havoc on the left side there. Either way, I believe this possession will come to an end, and now Fireland is ready to go as quarterback Tyler Kellogg is already letting the officials know he's ready to switch footballs and get this next drive going. Just 1:45 until the break. So they'll retake the field. Wellington defenders getting ready. 22-6 ball game here. And Deacon Cooley will start this drive, getting a sweep out to the left, working towards the sideline, and he's tackled out of, no. Nope, okay, they will say he's out of bounds. This one official looked like he'd almost signaled he'd stayed in, but that'll stop the clock at 1:31. And I believe, so maybe he did stand, but we'll have a timeout called. So we'll take a quick timeout with them as well here from Black River High School, with Firelands driving, trying to score before the half here on the Lorain County Sports Network. Turning to play here as we've got a quick screen out to the left. That'll go to the 2 of Austin Davis. He's sprinting down the sideline, carrying Wellington Duke defenders with him as he gets inside the 15. Huge play there. Now we've already seen them use a lot of tempo, but they're showing it even more here. Just over 60 seconds remaining in the half. And despite holding that lead 22-6, Firelands and their staff, they know Wellington will get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. They're trying to build up as much of a lead as they can. Another screen, this time sailing, and that might have even, they'll say incomplete. It looked very dangerously close to being a backwards pass, which of course would have been a fumble, but ball heads out of bounds either way. 51 seconds to go here. Happy to have you along. If maybe you're child. This is their first year at the JR.LC8 level. We've been covering them for a number of seasons now, and of course they are the future of our Friday night coverage, so we're excited to spotlight them as we've got another pop pass out the left side, and that'll be caught. Deacon Cooley hauling in that touchdown grab as he's had a few big pass plays through the air from his quarterback, Tyler Kellogg, today. The first one that'll end in 6 points. What a beautiful throw. Is a nice pump fake to Austin Davis in the flats, who, of course, caught a nice one and took it quite the distance, over 20 yards earlier in the drive. So continuing to use these kind of setup plays to fool the Duke's defense makes it 28-6. So now Cooley and Dunn either side, and this time it's just going to be a quarterback sweep out to the left, cutting through some blockers and defenders, and that'll end in a 2-point conversion for Tyler Kellogg, making it 30-6, 45 seconds to go until the break. And for Firelands, they're picking up right where they left off a season ago when they were champions of this league. A couple late substitutions happening on either side, it looks like. It's right there. We'll see Lane Abbey head into the ball game for Wellington on the offensive line. Looks like Skylar Hopkins will remain at quarterback. Oh, check that. Now, so we will see Dominic Johnson remain out there. It appeared at first that Abbey was subbing in for him, but they'll both be on the front five right there. So with 45 seconds to go, we'll see how aggressive Wellington is here. Snap is handled, and then stepping around one defender is Hopkins. He's going to tuck it. Got to make a man miss. He'll get around him. Going past Dunn, who cuts him down right along the sideline. And the clock will move. We'll see if the Wellington staff calls a timeout. There's the signal. So they will stop the clock there. Just over 20 seconds to go here in the first half. And it's a play like that it's worth talking about, as Skylar Hopkins has done an outstanding job making plays with his feet. And he did have a real nice pass earlier that was, unfortunately for the Dukes, called back due to a holding in the backfield. But where the plays break down and quarterback scrambling side to side, it can get tough on the lineman to try to predict where he's going to be. But he had a beautiful pass to Christian Edwards, who was able to escape past the defense, and they picked up at least 30 yards on that on a very long third down and third down to go situation. But unfortunately, with that and then some of the unfortunate penalties for them and the early turnover, it's kind of been a snowball effect. And Firelands, their offense, only misfortune they had was going for it on fourth down on their first drive of the game. Coming up short. Outside of that, they have been unstoppable. Falcons are ready as they head back out there. And for their defense, they've done a real solid job. And, well, I think they still want to draw up another play. They'll use another timeout. We'll take one with them, and we'll bring you the conclusion of the first half when we come back here on the Lorain County Sports Network. Coming out of the timeout now, Wellington will see what they've got drawn up. It'll be Grayson Kissau at quarterback. He's going to roll right. Nice block laid by his O-lineman. He puts it up top and just out of the reach of his receiver, Briar Keithley. Haven't called his name yet, as these Wellington receivers, they've had a few chances to go out in the route tree, but whether it's pressure or having to scramble for yards, they haven't been given a lot of time to get open. So 11 seconds remain here. It'll be 2nd down and 10 from the Wellington zone 49. And not so much investigating, but just keeping an eye on things in the break. And for the moment, not sure if we'll see Skylar Hopkins the rest of this half. Looks unlikely, but he has certainly been a great playmaker for them so far. See if they can make do without him right here. Kiss out in the shotgun, and he's able to get a hold of the snap with some pressure coming, and that one falls incomplete. In pursuit of that football, though, was Weston Kirshner. I think he may have even been coming over from his defensive lineman position to try to get his hands on that. That leaves 6 seconds to go on the clock here. So Wellington will huddle back up, and presumably this will be the final play of the half. Though they do have one timeout in their pocket, so if they're able to get a pass off quickly enough, or if Kissau is able to scramble and get down, they might have one more opportunity. We'll see. From there. So they may be working without a timeout here. We'll see on this 3rd and 10 under center, and they'll hand it off and just track down for a loss that time. If you're wondering who it is, just guess it's Gavin Byer, because once again, that 5th grader, he's getting after that offensive line today. So that'll bring an end to the first half. 30-6 in favor of Firelands here from Black River High School. We'll head to the half, take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll update you how we got to this point and preview our next matchup in this doubleheader of JR.LC8 action. It's all happening right here on the Lorain County Sports Network. Back here at Black River High School Stadium as we're moments away from beginning the third quarter of play between Wellington and Firelands. The Falcons up big at the moment and came from a lot of great offense and a few turnovers forced on defense and being able to limit Wellington, who also looks like, at least for the start of this second half, is going to be without one of their top players. And Skylar Hopkins operated at the quarterback spot and was a real playmaker, great bright spot for them. However, I think in week one they're going to err on the side of caution, as right now it'll be Grayson Casau heading back out there. He gets under center for the Dukes. 9-minute quarters, and we're just about ready to get going here in the second half. Thank you for joining us here this afternoon. It's our fourth season. That's a fumble. Ball's on the ground, as I don't think there was a clear exchange there between quarterback and halfback. We'll see who comes out of that. Official signal, Falcons football. And it's just been that kind of afternoon so far for Wellington. And Falcons, they've been able to take advantage of a lot of the opportunities they've been given. So already up by 24 here. And we'll see this Wellington defense head back out there, backs against the wall, try to come up with a stop. Different story, obviously, for Firelands. They've had touchdown runs, pick six thrown in there, touchdown pass. And at the center of a lot of that has been quarterback Tyler Kellogg. Heading out of the game right now is a guy who has a touchdown run today, Blake Dunn. And it's odd. I mean, it may have happened in the pile of the fumble there. It looked like he was okay to go for offense, but he heads over to the sideline. So taking his place is going to be Austin Davis moving in from receiver, and then taking Davis's place at wideout will be the 4 of Carter Marr. First time we've seen him today, at least on offense. So snap is back. Cooley will get the handoff, heading out left, cuts up immediately, throws out the stiff arm. He's like that move, and he'll find the edge, trying to stay in bounds, spinning off a defender, and that'll set him up with a goal-to-go situation. 8.5 remaining here on this third quarter clock, as we're just 30 seconds into the third quarter of play. So first down and 10 officially setting up at the 8-yard line here. Firelands holding a 30-6 advantage. Cooley believes going to be in a wingback on the left. Directly behind, it's going to be Davis getting it. He's going to plunge his way up the middle. So he almost got past his quarterback, Kellogg, that time. He was ready for that handoff, as we've seen him catch a couple passes, but that's the first run on the day for him. No substitutions here. They'll keep it the same inside the 10. 7.5 to go, roughly. As we see Keystone on site. No sight of the Black River players yet, but they may be in their locker room at the moment. Right there, we're going to see him break an arm tackle and then dive in. Austin Davis from a couple yards out, as he will now put them ahead by 30, and that'll institute a moving clock here in the second half. So 36-6, just over 7 minutes to go. At the start of this drive, Blake Dunn just a little uncomfortable, or something happened in a pile-up for a fumble on Wellington's first play of the half. So he exited and taking advantage right there. Austin Davis getting some opportunities, and that's another part, an important part in games like this. If for either team, honestly, is to try out some guys in different places, see what works. And right there, that's a nice lofting pass to Nicholas Fleming. He gets his hands on the ball for the first time to convert the 2-point conversion. That makes it 38-6. We'll take a short break here as the teams flip sides, and we'll see the Dukes offense up next here on the Lorain County Sports Network. First down and 10 for Wellington. Back out into the ball game is Skylar Hopkins. So he was a bright spot for them in the first half. We're going to see him use his legs here. He did a lot of that, and he's crossing all the way from left back to right. And a lot of Falcons in pursuit, so he'll be wrestled down there. But another penalty flag, and that was unfortunately a common occurrence there in the first half. And that can be a tough thing for an offense going between a couple different quarterbacks. They have different styles. You know, Grayson Casal really on his dropbacks has been more prone to stay in the pocket or kind of survey the field in a rollout. But with a guy like Skylar Hopkins, when a play breaks down or he sees an opening, he's going to take it. And, I mean, that play right there is a perfect example. And we have a timeout called by Wellington. And I believe it may have ran into an issue there. Hopkins a little bit hobbled right now. And Casal may not have been able to get the play in there by the time the play clock expired. So that'll lead to forcing Wellington to use a timeout just to make sure they get the play off on time. For the moment, that'll give us a chance to thank our partners here on these JR.LC8 broadcasts. And a big thank you to the likes of Elyria Charities, Inc. Ran an amazing anti-bullying campaign last year, not only JR.LC, but at the high school level. And we even got to hear stories from families that said when they'd had the games on the radio or maybe on the TV or phone through the Lorain County Sports Network and our radio stations, they were able to get the help they need or reach out or express that to their family. So we love to hear stories like that and the impact Elyria Charities is having. Also, Stewart's TV and Appliance in Elyria, as they've been a great partner of ours for years now and support pretty much all of the endeavors we get into. Spitzer Auto World in Amherst, also a proud sponsor of high school football, so they're bringing you high school football and JR.LC8, so both levels of that. Fligner's Market on Broadway in Lorain, and they're an institution, a tradition in their own for anybody, even as far south here in Sullivan and Spencer, all the way up to Lorain where they are on Broadway. And of course, Nick Abraham, Elyria Ford, as they bring you a lot of different sports segments, including in our newscasts Monday through Friday on the radio. We'll see Wellington back out there with the first down and 20 after the holding, and there's some more dirty laundry on the field right there. We'll see if it's accepted. There was a couple yard gain there, so we'll see if Firelands feels the need to call or accept that or not. We'll see. Looks like they'll just take the game that happened and make it 2nd and 18. Halfway through this third quarter, 4.5 minutes to go on a moving clock. Of course, game time, start time has moved up a little bit here today due to some potential weather in effect at some point today. That actually affected the start of the Cleveland Browns up there by the lake, as we'll get into that in a moment. Hard count possibly in effect there by Grayson Casal, and he draws Firelands offside. So that's been a very aggressive group. It's a heads-up play by him and the staff of Wellington to take advantage of it. So we'll see if that causes some hesitancy in Firelands. Coming out of the game there for the Falcons after the offsides. I'm not even sure if it was necessarily him that jumped, but Caden Amaro heading to the sidelines there. I think he's replaced now by Ryder Watchorn up front. As Firelands stacking the box right now with a 4-4 look. We'll see a little bit of deception there in the backfield and faking one handoff. That guy became the lead blocker, but then stacked up for the loss that time, Colin Sparks. So under 3 minutes to go on a moving clock here. And we do have good news to report from Cleveland as the Browns and Bills are in action. As there are 5 minutes to go till halftime there. Bring that up because on WOBL, on our airwaves, every Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, you can now listen to the Bearded Browns podcast there. If you're a Browns fan, they are part of the National Cleveland Browns Backers Association. They were actually at a big event over in, I believe it was Westlake, somewhere just east of Lorain County on Thursday doing a live show, but you can hear their shows on Thursday and then live on Saturday and Sunday mornings with WOBL. And they recap and get you ready for all things Cleveland Browns. They've had a lot of great guests, and that's a fumble on the handoff right there. I think Wellington was able to hop back on it. So they saved the possession there, but it will make it 4th down. In the background there, hearing the Wellington Dukes cheerleaders. They're trying to give a little boost to this crowd, get them in the game here. It's become a very warm day. Decent breeze, but overcast skies, but that sun is still shining through. We're at 90 seconds to go till the end of this third quarter. Another hard count in effect on this 4th down play, but this time they're going to say the Wellington offensive lineman moved first. I'm sure there'll be some discussion among the linemen on each side of who offsides first. But the officials are going to march them back 5. And now on this 4th down and I'll call it around 18 to go, we're going to see the Dukes coaching staff elect to punt here. So that'll send the Falcons defense off to the sideline as their offense gets ready to come back out, and already found themselves with a score here in this half after being up 30-6 at halftime. This half came courtesy of Austin Davis on a 6-yard touchdown run. And I believe it looks like each of the coaching staffs are content to let this one go to the end of the quarter. So we will step aside when we come back. We'll start the 4th quarter of play here on the Lorain County Sports Network. Fourth quarter about to get underway here, as we'll see some reserves in effect here, and that's not stopping the action as Austin Davis finds his way around the right side, and he's shaking off a man, and then that'll eventually catch up to him. A good job there to hold on by Braxton Siebold, as he got a hand on Davis around the 25 or so. Looked like he might lose him, but he's able to stay in contact and pull him out of bounds after, we'll call it a 31-yard run or so. It's been that kind of day for Firelands. They've been able to get whatever they would like on offense. In at quarterback, Gannon Brown, who caught a touchdown earlier, now hands it off. That'll go left side. And I believe on the carry will be Ray Sebastian. He's wrestled down. We do have a penalty flag down, as there were a couple players going at it at the top of the field, the top of the screen on the far side of the field. Not sure if this will be for an in-play penalty like holding or for anything extracurricular. It looks like, not sure. So that was right around a 5-yard penalty. Not sure what they called there, but either way, it moves Firelands back. Clock keeps moving, under 7.5 to go in the fourth quarter. Don't forget, coming up next, we do have a doubleheader in effect today. So we're at Black River High School. The Pirates, they will host the next game as they welcome in the Keystone Wildcats. And that we will end this live stream, start a new one for that. So if you are a fan of either of those teams, it's breaking through the line right there. That's Austin Davis. He went untouched for about the first 10 and then muscled his way through for the next 10 to get a 21-yard touchdown run. His second of the day, second here in the second half. And that's what, if you're coach for Firelands, you see that hunger right there. Big high five as Austin Davis heads over to the sideline from his coach. And, you know, we said earlier, he had a chance to go in when Blake Dunn was feeling a little discomfort maybe in his leg or something he was pointing to as he exited the game, their starters. So ever since he's come in, Davis has done a great job of showing what he can do. Then off the left side that time and plunging in, that'll be a 2-point conversion good by Ezekiel Jones. So they add to their total today. And Wellington's offense will come out next. And we'll be with you all season long. Now, the crews on site, the voices you hear may change week to week or might vary a bit, but the coverage of these kids will not. We will be in a press box in a high school stadium throughout the fall here on Saturdays, as this is our fourth full season of JR.LC8 football. It's always great to hear the feedback and everything, the thoughts of the parents, people watching, and knowing that kids also get I mean, you can treat this as a film session or as a watch party kind of thing, but either way, we're extremely happy to do it, and we'll be following teams all throughout the season. Back out there, Kissau gives it on a sweep this time. So they try to get Skylar Hopkins, that is, involved. And he's going to lose a couple yards there as Firelands did a good job stretching that play out to the sideline. When it comes to the two teams you see on the field, Wellington and Firelands, of course, these guys, if they keep at it, they will eventually take the field at the high school level. And if you're a fan of, or maybe a younger sibling is on one of these teams, younger child, and then you have their older sibling on the varsity team at the high school level, we will actually be covering Firelands High School at Vermilion next Friday. So for all you Firelands fans, maybe you can't make the trip or want to be able to watch the game back, just go stay right here on YouTube, Lorain County Sports Network. Next Friday, we'll be broadcasting the Stillman Cup. Right around the edge there goes Kissau. Almost got to the sideline before being hit, but a great block was laid to help him get ahead there. So around a 7-yard pickup or so. It's right around to the 39-yard line. Quarterback run, whether it's on design plays or when they're forced to go kind of off schedule with it, seem to be the most effective ones throughout the afternoon here for Wellington. They'll try to find some bright spots to build on heading into next week. Under 3.5 minutes to go on a moving clock here. 3rd down and 6 for the Dukes. And speaking of next week, we will be at Vermilion High School. So not only will we be there on a Friday night on YouTube for the high school matchup with Firelands, we'll also be there for Brookside against Firelands, as well as Black River taking on the hosting Vermilion Sailors. Can't wait to bring you those as the clock hits the 3-minute mark. Snap goes back, kiss out, rolling out right. He'll get a block, surveying, finds a man just off the hands of his target that time, Luke Murray, and it's going to result in a 4th down. So at this point in the ball game, Wellington will naturally keep the offense out there, get the reps in that they can with this group. And so it looks like there's a switch there. Kissau, I think, brought the play in, and it looks like Skylar Hopkins will deliver the play call and line up at quarterback. So gotten a decent dose of him today. Got to imagine as the year goes on, they may use him there more. Snap is back on this 4th down. And he's going to tuck it and run. We've seen him do this already today. Gets around to the defenders at the 40. He's at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Skylar Hopkins. His 2nd touchdown run of the day. This time coming on a 4th down here in the 4th quarter. So I'm going to try my best to use some quick math there. That'll be a 61-yard touchdown run for Skylar Hopkins to go with around a 38-yarder that he had to open the game, as he got the first points on the board of the 5th and 6th grade JR.LC8 season. Right there, he may score the final points of this ball game. I want to give a big shout out throughout this game. We've had a scoreboard and been able to see what the clock we're working with and the down and distance situation. Adam here at Black River doing an outstanding job. He's been able to keep us in the know with everything happening on the scoreboard. So a big thank you to him, because we never take that for granted on Saturdays in the fall here. So 2-point conversion. Hopkins will roll right with it. No doubt he's going for that pylon, and he'll sneak his way in as the Wellington faithful cheers that on. So that gets the Dukes up to 14. Clock will continue to move here, and I don't even think Firelands will need to run a final play, so that'll bring an end to this ball game here. First of the day. I mentioned it a little bit earlier. If you are tuning in looking for Keystone and Black River, we will end this live stream, and then we will start another one. So all you have to do is just click on our page, Lorain County Sports Network, and you'll be able to see in a few minutes we'll go live with that next broadcast. So thank you for tuning in for the opening game here of the JR.LC8 Football League on the Lorain County Sports Network. Your final, Firelands 46, Wellington 14. Have a great rest of your weekend, and a big thank you to the likes of Sam Silverco, Corey Lozier. I'm Max Drummond. We'll see you in a little bit here.